Hello everybody and welcome back. I don't even have my webcam on. Oh my god, I'm getting really frustrated with this technology right now. Oh, there I am, great, okay. So, anyway, I did have a bit of a flubbed start there on my last stream. The Wi-Fi, I need to reset it so I could get through these charts a little bit faster. So basically I just started out last stream by complaining a little bit, so I'm not going to waste that time again. And yeah, I just have to do my disclaimers. Number one, not a professional. Number two, not financial advice. Don't follow me. We're just in this to learn together. So anyway, I want to go through these charts again. For me today it was kind of a, just another disappointing day, I would say. Disappointed with myself for making stupid trades, but nothing that's going to be overly harmful as long as we clean up our act moving forward. So that's what I'm going to be looking to do. Clean up my act moving forward and be a little more big picture, analytical. Don't get so buried into the details during the day. Keep things low stress and just, be objective and trade off the charts. That's the big thing. So NVIDIA, Oracle earnings seem to have ignited the sector. We'll get to Oracle in a bit. It's really flying up there. But, and semiconductors don't seem to be leading the way for the AI theme right now. But if the peripherals and the infrastructure is going to make a run, then you certainly do want to see NVIDIA moving up as well. So that would be a good thing if this one can get back into gear, back above the 50 and such. Tesla just continues to build this base out. This does seem like it could be the final decision point, but I'm sure we thought that a few times along the way, so we'll just have to see what happens with this one. Palantir, this one looks like it's attempting to come off the 50. It hasn't broken the range yet, but if it does break the range, then this fair value gap here will probably fill pretty quickly, I would guess. So, yeah, just watching this one looks like it could definitely come back up off the 50 tomorrow if it does ride these tailwinds of the Oracle earnings. Amazon, yeah, breaking up higher. Looks like it's ready to move into all-time highs. AMD looks a little bit weaker for the AI theme, but could catch another run due to just sector strength in general. Meta, you can see a very clear spot here, a very clear line in the sand that it's trying to break through. If this one breaks through that, then this one could be viable. I'll take a look at that one, possibly. And then Google, maybe leading the Mag 7 right now. Just a very strong move. I think they're doing a really good job with their AI. They're really trying to be innovative and come out with a lot of different tools. And sure, Gemini, I wouldn't say it's as polished as ChatGPT, but they are adding a lot of new features. So certainly not falling behind in the AI race. You can see that's why the stock's responding. It's just a little bit extended right now. But we do want to watch this one, I would say. Broadcom had that nice gap up, and now it's just had, some selling. It hasn't really dropped below here, but, certainly not what you want to see. Oh my goodness, I love it when dogs bark in my apartment. But, anywho, yep, this is a 98 relative strength, super liquid stock, so one you want to be watching carefully, but this selling up here does indicate we might see some more drifts, some more sideways before this one gets ready to continue higher. UNH coming alive. This does look like a potential turnaround point, but this is not the kind of stock that I traffic in. Robinhood breaking into all-time highs, and looks like it might be wanting to continue this move higher. I am going to not try to game the market anymore. I'm probably just going to wait for this one to pull back to the moving averages a bit. APP, follow on strength. Needs to pull back to the moving averages before we can get involved, probably. Bitcoin theme is weak. Netflix, this one could be buyable for me, honestly. This kind of seems like the kind of stock that, might just be a good addition to my portfolio if I want to get exposure to something out there, because it's been tough for me to get into things. And Coinbase, starting to look like it's coming alive a little bit, but it's still a weak theme, and I think there are better spots to look. Oracle, this one, we can probably, I don't know if after hours extends to 8 or 9, but I think it's only till 8. So, but you can see here, gapping up extremely nicely. Seems like these people who bought here might have known a little something. But I'm going to be very interested to see how this one reacts tomorrow. Certainly off to a good start, and if this one holds up, then I would expect that a lot of AI names are going to be plowing higher tomorrow. So we'll keep an eye on this one. Probably not buyable though, with that kind of gap up. Then Intel, I wonder if this one, unfortunately, I think the clock, does it just not have after hours trades? Maybe it's just sitting where it was in after hours. I think that's what it was. So yeah, this one is actually looking really good. I just don't think it's for me. CoreWeave riding off these tailwinds from NBIS and Oracle, but still showing a lot of relative weakness, I would say. Micron, I actually took a shot on this one today, but I bought it a little too early and it reversed very handily and very obviously, so I just got out of it. Maybe that was a bad idea. Maybe I should have just stuck it out in there because it didn't even violate the lows of the day. But it was extended, so that's why I didn't really want to just sit in there. See, that's the thing. Like, if you looked at this chart without moving averages, you would say, yeah, it's just breaking higher. Why don't we get in this one? Sometimes I feel like the moving averages do distort my view a little bit, but I do feel like they provide too much information not to use them. Now, Micron does have earnings, so that's one thing, is this run, if you don't like to hold through earnings, might not be the best one for you, but still showing itself to be a leader for sure. Yeah, Baba just continuing to run higher. Very, nice pattern here. If it wasn't this gappy foreign stock, I probably would have bought this one, but woulda, shoulda, coulda. SoFi just looks like kind of a jumbled mess, but it's a jumbled mess that's going higher. I think that this one has a lot of interest in the interest rate conversation, so that could be a catalyst for this. Overall, it looks a little bit extended for me, but it's just trending upwards. It's not trending nicely, but it's trending. So make of that what you will. Reddit, this one, you don't like this sharp downward move. That's the one thing that kind of holds you back on this one. It is seeming to form a handle, but it has had kind of bad days where you just say, oh, that wasn't very nice, like right there and right there. That being said, I do think this one could still go higher. It's a 98 relative strength, and certainly over this level could be a buy zone, or around here, maybe over this high zone right here could be a buy. So maybe we can just get a little more sideways, a little more tightness. We'll see about that one. Walmart kind of looking like it could get back into gear sooner rather than later. GV holding up okay. I think it was gapping up a little bit too off of that Oracle stuff. I didn't like this gap down here. I think that was the Trump anti-wind, solar, whatever energy day. So I think that is what caused that, and you don't like to see a gap in your chart, especially after you've been running for so long. And it's been a weak rally back out, but I'm not going to count this one out quite yet. Then Spotify, I thought about buying it right here, but excuse me. Yeah, I tried to do this video with a little bit of daylight left so I wasn't so tired, but seems like things are catching up to me nonetheless. But this one, I almost took a shot on this one, but I do think that would just be trying to, game the market, trying to get some sort of weird early entry where you really don't need one. I think over this high is probably the earliest entry you could realistically feel good about. Now this one I have noticed, along with the DoorDash, they really don't do breakouts well. It's probably better to buy these pulling back to a moving average, which is what I struggle with because I feel like I'm just buying at random spots sometimes on those pullbacks, and I have no conviction to hold them, and that's what got me in trouble today and made me take some dumb trades for absolutely no reason. But it is 93 relative strength, so I'll take a look at that one. Boeing coming into its 50 here. It's a potential buy spot, honestly, if you like a slower moving stock. Snowflake, it's gotten very volatile, but it's still held this level, it undercut and reclaimed it. And I do think this one could still move higher, but it's not really showing the strength that you'd love to see when some of the other AI names are doing a bit better. That being said, this Oracle stuff could catalyze this one as well. A lot of times what I notice when there's a big catalyst in a group is that the whole group will gap up together, but once things actually start moving during hours, you'll kind of see some separate themselves and others just kind of either sit there or reverse. So that's something to think about. So yeah, I did say this one might be a good short here, but I didn't actually do it because number one, I'm not comfortable shorting, and number two, I just don't mess with this stock. It can be a big gap up, either up or down, so I don't mess around with it. But it does look like this one possibly coming to fruition as a good short. Now, don't take that to go and short it because I don't really trust the stock at all, but that's just my read on this one. SMCI, starting to see some strength come into it. It has a lot to deal with in terms of overhead supply. That's very nasty downside gap. But, some green shoots for SMCI. NBIS, this one was up 49.42%. That's madness. How could you possibly get, it looks so good now. It's like, oh, you had your cup, you had your handle. But would you have held through these earnings on this name? I don't know. I just don't see how, there's any way to reliably capture a move like this, especially when it gaps up that much. But yeah, I think it was a big Microsoft contract for this one. It seems like people have moved from the Magnificent Seven themselves to the Magnificent Seven's suppliers. So, but this definitely, this might be greatest all-time volume as well. And it appears that this is greatest all-time volume. So this is kind of a shot across the bow. This is probably what could really turn this one into a runner. And it looks like an all-time high as well, I do believe. Yep, this is an all-time high. So, congratulations if you have NBIS, but if you were sitting on the sideline like me, then probably not going to touch this one, but I do want to see what happens with it. Then we got Citigroup, just kind of moving around at highs. Goldman Sachs breaking out actually, so it looks like banks are starting to come into gear here with Goldman possibly being the leader. Why don't we look at, I just don't know if I'll buy this one because what are the odds that this one's just going to get up and start? Well, it can run though, it's run back here, so maybe. ANET, this is the only one that I'm in. It has erased some of those stupid trades I've made lately. but we're not going for break even, we're going for a profit. So if I had just laid off the buys and allowed this one to work a little bit, I would be dealing with a little more cushion than I am right now, let's say that. But this one did gap up after hours. I'm not going to get too excited about it because that really doesn't mean a whole lot unless we have follow through. But, some reasons for optimism. It certainly looks like a good chart, so we'll just have to see. Then A-Lab, I wouldn't be surprised if this one's moving higher tomorrow. It's just going to be very hard to get in with this level of extension. Then we have Roblox here. It's looking okay, just some overhead to deal with in the form of this blow-off candle. IBM coming right back up to his 50. This is one where you kind of think short, but since it is an AI name, it could catch some tailwinds. But if it does start to reverse, then yeah, I would probably think this is a good spot to short. That being said, I don't short, so take that with a grain of salt. Caterpillar is still just moving into its 50. If you were an institution, then this would probably be a good spot to buy this one. Mongo database started to move up. GE Aerospace, very similar to Boeing. I feel like I may have way too many stocks on my watch list after this. And then Shopify, I tried to play it on a bounce, but I played it a little too early and it reversed and stopped me out because I had no risk on the trade. When I try to play those bounces, I just have no appetite for risk, and I get stopped out pretty much every time because the odds are, yeah, the price is going to move through your stop. So that's the kind of trade I need to stop doing. Now, if this one shows some sort of strength tomorrow and it breaks up above this level, has some sort of strong move, then yeah, I can definitely see this one being a buy, but I just have to stop it with the stupid trades, even if they are just paper cuts. Then Oklo, this one was gapping up as well, off of the Oracle stuff, I believe it was, that did all this. You can see that this one actually does kind of correlate with this resistance level over here. Now this level has been broken through since, but sometimes these obvious turnaround spots can kind of leak over into the rest of the chart, and certainly if it gets above here, then I can see it coming up to build a right side here and potentially giving you, so I guess what we would want to see is we would probably want to see this build a right side, pause at all-time highs, and then maybe move up. That might be a good entry spot for this one. But other than that, I think that for me personally, trying to do an early entry is just going to get me into trouble. So I'll just keep watching. And then Carvana, this one looks very, very nice actually. It does have this blow-off action up here, but this one is sitting right near all-time highs, and it's really cinching up. So this one I think might actually be starting to move to the top of my watch list. This would definitely give you some diversification away from AI. So this one, I'm going to be watching this one very closely. CyberArk, this is just moving based off of PNW. Now it's giving you a nice little trend here, but it's not something I would spend time on. Need to stop that. Then Celestica, just showing some volatility up here, which is no surprise. It probably needs to digest quite a bit, but it is a leader, so it could just keep on moving higher. Then Rocket Lab, no surprise to see this one kind of floundering after its terrible day last Wednesday. So this one, yeah, I think you want to see more tightness in this one before you get involved. Amphenol, getting some good tailwinds from this AI stuff. Soundhound, if it could build a right side, then maybe. This one's just kind of a meme stock, but you know, we've seen some former meme stocks turn into real monsters with Palantir and Robinhood, for example. And I do want to look at the EPS on this one. So this one, it has very good revenue actually, it's just not very profitable. What we did see that kind of was the change for a Palantir and a Robinhood, I would say, is that they were profitable companies. So this one, maybe a little bit too speculative for me personally, but it's one to keep your eye on. This one could go from meme to actually a real deal stock. So I'll just be watching this one carefully on these nightly videos if it does stick around in the top 100. In DoorDash, this one popped out a little bit later in the day. Usually I don't have my eye on the markets as closely later in the day. Plus I had actually run out of settlement because that's just how I trade, as I trade way too much. I just, you know, I'm in and out, in and out, in and out for no good reason. And I used up all my settlements. So there was really no chance for me to get into this one. But, yeah, I mean, it definitely seems like it does want to come up. Kind of along with the Netflix and the Spotifys of the world. So this one's looking good, for sure. And that's the top 100. I'm sure we have more than 25 stocks here, so let's take a look. We got 29. What do we want to take off? Let us take off. I think I'm going to take off Roblox. Let's take off Citi and just leave Goldman. Let's take off NBiz because there's just no way in hell I'm buying that one up there. And let's take off. Oh, man. Let's take off. Let's take off Boeing. So that's it. That is our top 25 stocks for the watch list tomorrow. And yeah, I just gotta have a complete culture shift. I gotta stop getting so into the details. I gotta stop being so intense. I gotta stop getting all geared up before the opening bell. I just gotta sit back, be relaxed, and just make the trades. That's all I gotta do is just make the trades. So I hope that you guys have a good run as well. And thank you for watching this one. I will see you next time. Looks like we had 2 viewers, so hopefully that was real. So hopefully there was actually someone watching this time. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time. I'm gonna let this run for a couple seconds just so that it doesn't go off early. But thank you for watching, and goodbye.